Hello, everyone, and welcome to True Crime. I'm Greg, the host and curator of all the shows on the Indie Drop-In Network. Every week, I find a true crime episode that I think you'll love from an independent podcast creator. If you like what I do here and you want to support the show, you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/indie drop-in. I'll put the link at the very bottom of the show notes. Today's episode is from Drinking the Koolaid. Drinking the Koolaid is a comedy podcast dedicated to the mysterious. Cassidy and Amanda cover conspiracies, true crime, aliens, paranormal, and more. If you're looking for a little variety with your true crime, this might be the show for you. If you like this episode from Drinking the Koolaid, make sure to check out the show notes for links to subscribe and follow on social media. Enjoy the show.
Begin.
Hello, and welcome to Drinking the Koolaid. This is a comedy podcast dedicated to the mysterious. My name is Cassidy.
My name is Amanda.
And we are here with episode 81.
Tons of fun.
Tons of fun. Here comes the fun.
Do-do-do-do-do.
We are very happy to be here. It's so cold.
It's really cold.
It went from really hot in the closet to very cold.
I don't understand. We're both wearing sweatshirts, and we are not sweating at all.
I'm not sweating.
I'm actually
freezing. And that
freezing.
is what the shirt promised with its name.
The sweatshirt. Ah! Definitely went over my head. Yep.
Right over.
Right over.
Yeah. It's been an eventful week.
Has
here
it?
At Drinking the Koolaid, Inc. Like we're incorporated. It has not at all. I don't know why I said that. I was hoping something would come to my brain. I gave my dog flea. Our producer Sydney got a bath this week.
Amazing.
And got her flea meds.
Incredible work.
Wow, she is the cleanest producer on the block.
Literally.
Quite literally. And then I cleaned my house and read 1,000 books.
You did not read the books. You listened to them.
That's true.
Does that still count as reading a book?
I mean, I still consumed the knowledge.
Yeah, I guess.
So that's why I like Audible and what's it called? Kindle, like the apps, because they'll sync. So if I'm reading a book and then like let's say I have to drive somewhere and I'm really into it, it'll catch me up exactly where I left off on Audible and I can start listening to it and then vice versa. It's very cool.
That's actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, it was the first time I realized that happened, I was like, oh, this is a game changer. Because that's the worst is when you're reading a book and then you're like, crap, I have to like walk somewhere or like drive to work. But then you still get to consume it.
I mean, listen, I don't read, but if I did, that sounds amazing.
I actually did listen to a book that I think you would really like. It's called Marigold, and it's done in the style of like a podcast where this guy interviews people about their haunted houses, and every chapter is a different quote-unquote episode or whatever. It was really, really good.
That actually does sound something I would like.
Yeah, and so they hired voice actors to like voice I guess it might be a podcast. I don't really know, but because they hired a voice actor to like voice the doctor and then to voice the person he's interviewing, and they just both did a really great job. And so it was a really interesting story. It was well done.
Marigold.
I
shall look into that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Thank you so much.
Definitely recommend.
Wow. And that concludes our ads for Audible and Kindle.
I wish. And Marigold, the book. An Audible exclusive. I don't know.
The ads we don't get paid for.
Yeah, exactly. We're just talking people up.
I know.
I haven't said anything bad about a brand in a while. Fuck you, Burger King. I still remember the King incident. I'll never forget. Sorry, I had to get that taste of liking a corporation off my tongue.
Yeah. No, I don't blame
you. Of course.
Yeah.
Clean slate. So how was your week, Amanda?
I knew you were going to ask me that question, and I just don't have an answer for you.
That is fair.
I know I haven't seen you in a week, but I feel like I didn't do anything.
Me either. Remember when you messaged me like 2 days ago? Mm-hmm. Was it yesterday? And you were like, I feel like I barely talked to you this week. Like, what's up? And I was like, literally nothing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just worked all week. Like, it was very boring.
Same.
Like, I did a bunch of photo shoots, and I went grocery shopping for the first time in like a month.
I know you have some interesting groceries in your fridge this time.
I was like really excited because I thought you were going to be proud of me because there was like real groceries in my fridge.
There's really not.
But there are. There was greenery. There were herbs in there.
Yeah, there's like basil.
Yes.
And then there's a box of wine.
Well, yeah, that's a staple
A
item.
box of pizza.
Well, that was from a photo shoot.
And a singular taco from Taco Bell.
Well, that was from when I ordered Taco Bell and then fell asleep and forgot I ordered it and they left it on my doorstep.
Oh, and can't forget the cinnamon rolls.
Well, those are a treat for someone special.
Uh-huh.
Listen, there was also herbs and spices in there. There was mashed potatoes that I made from scratch.
Okay, what else?
A tri-tip that I made from scratch.
Okay, like
That was really good. Hummus. There was hummus in there. Spicy
Usually
hummus.
people have like egg cartons.
I don't like eggs.
Chicken.
I don't really like chicken either.
I got nothing.
I had wheat thins available. There was two zucchinis, one yellow, one green, just to mix it up.
I just want you to know that there really wasn't that many groceries in there.
Oh my god, I spent like $120.
I'm so
How did
sorry.
I do that? This is the worst day of my life. I was so excited to show Amanda my full fridge and my clean apartment.
The apartment is super clean.
It smells good too, huh?
It does. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really stoked about it. But now I'm feeling pretty bummed.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel like that. It was really the singular taco from Taco Bell that did it for me.
Listen, I did that thing that I never knew I would ever do, where I ordered Taco Bell on Uber Eats and I fell asleep before it got here.
Yeah,
I've never
I can't
done
believe
that
it.
before. Every single one of my friends has like 1,000 stories where they've done that. I've never done it before. It was the first time ever for me. I'm pretty embarrassed about it. That's why I'm telling thousands of people on the internet who have never met me and have only this to judge me on.
Listen, we've said so much worse on here.
That's so true. But yeah, and so I woke up like 2 hours later and was like, crap. I guess I just fell asleep on the couch. I woke up at like 11:30 and was like, oh, whoops. I fell asleep before my food got here. And then I was like, sure that they just took it, right? No.
Oh my God. If I was him or whoever the Uber Eats driver was, I would have eaten all that shit.
Yeah, no, they left it at my doorstep and it was still there. I was like, that is so nice. So just threw that shit in the air fryer. Tasted just as good.
I hope you gave him a bigger tip.
I did. I tipped him like $10.
Good.
Because I felt bad too. I'm sure. I don't know how long they wait, but I felt bad about that.
How did he get into the building?
Great question. We'll never know.
Wow. Security.
Lax. Lax.
Listen, it was just Taco Bell. It's fine. It's not like
Yeah.
he had a knife or a gun and was going to murder you.
He didn't even have the proper sauce.
Oh.
That was very upsetting to me. Luckily, I had backup sauce.
Okay, good.
You know, I got to keep it on me.
It's because I always give you like 30 every time I come
Yep,
over.
and I keep them in the fridge. That was, I think they're probably from last time you came over. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I've never done that before. I felt really ashamed.
You should.
I'm just glad it was something like Taco Bell and not something like Thai food or something really good, you know? Where like you want it fresh.
I'm sorry. Why were you saying something really good saying Taco Bell is not?
Well, like if it was like Thai food, I would have spent like $40 and
Okay, fair.
I would have had like expectations where like Taco Bell, it's going to taste good no matter how I eat it.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I feel like it would have been more likely somebody would have stole it than just like a crinkled Taco Bell bag by my
Maybe.
door.
Listen, you'd be surprised. Taco Bell gets the panties tingling. I don't know.
That was
I
disgusting.
don't know.
I hated that so much. Oh my God. You're lucky you're wearing those earrings I like.
I was going to say, I'm not even wearing underwear, so.
You never are. For someone who pees their pants so often,
I know,
you would
right?
think you'd be more secure about your panty situation.
I know.
And in jeans.
I'm in leggings.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah,
But I know you go commando in jeans.
I do.
That's such a bizarre. That just seems like I just feel like, is there not chafing happening?
Oh, there is.
Oh, and you just have decided that's a part of your lifestyle.
I like to live on the edge.
You're like, chafing is actually a major part of my personality.
It is, actually.
If I didn't have the chafing, I wouldn't know who I was personally.
Listen, in different areas of my life, people know me for one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
At work, they know me as the person that cries all the time.
That checks out.
And here, I would just like to be known as the girl that pees her pants.
I think that's done and done.
Okay.
It was part of a drinking game that they came up with. Take a shot every time Amanda talks about peeing her pants.
Who?
There was like several of our listeners, including Lasagna, but I can't remember who else, that were coming up with a drinking game. Like separately from each other. That's the bad part. One of the things that Lasagna put on there, my dear friend Lisa, was every time I go, so how was your week, Amanda? Or every time that I go, what year is it again? Apparently I ask that every time.
You do. You really do.
And then finish your drink if Amanda cries.
Ugh. Rude.
I can't remember what the other ones were. But yeah, there was like a couple different listeners that were like talking about a drinking game. I can't remember.
Well, for all you folks out there, I didn't pee my pants today.
No, but she did talk about it. So I think that's at least a sip.
That's true. Take a drink.
Take a drink. What?
Oh.
You just took such an excited breath. What is it?
It's party time tonight. We get a whole extra hour to sleep tomorrow.
Oh my God, amazing.
Right? We're going to party till 11:35.
11:35, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, new bedtime. I, for religious reasons, do not celebrate daylight savings, and so I'm just going to be an hour late everywhere I go from now on.
You legally have to celebrate it.
I don't have to do anything.
Your phone is going to just change the time. It doesn't matter.
And I'll read it wrong every single time. That's the best thing about Arizona, where I partially grew up. They don't celebrate daylight savings over there. Big fan.
So their time doesn't change, but ours does?
Mm-hmm. So we're half the year we're on the same time as them. And then after tonight, we'll be an hour ahead of them. Behind.
I don't think I like that.
It's annoying for me. Like when I drive back for Thanksgiving, I lose an hour. So it's like a 5-hour drive, but it might as well be a 6-hour drive.
Terrible.
Which is so annoying.
That's really annoying. You just cross over and the time just...
Yep.
Ugh, horrible. Is that a bug?
Sorry. Oh my God.
What?
I don't know. You scared me, and then I thought something touched my hair. Yes, it looks like a bug. Oh my God. You know how I feel about bugs. Why would you do that to me?
Because I saw a bug.
Why'd you just kill it?
We lost it. The bug.
Well, now it just lives here permanently. It's part of the team. We got to give it a job. It's going to be on payroll by next week.
Well, I take back what I said 2 minutes ago about not peeing my pants yet today.
Your pants? This is why we don't share seats. She has her seat. I have mine.
Oh, no. And I'm wearing leggings with no underwear.
Oh, there's just so little between you and the seat. So little protection.
Hey, I bought this chair. It's fine.
That's true. It's your chair. So if you want to piss on it, that's all on you. I think you should be able to legally piss on whatever you bought for yourself. That's fine.
Sorry. The way that you freaked out when I said there was a bug was the funniest fuck. I wish we were videotaping that.
Because, listen, as soon as you said that, like my hair touched the soundproofing thing and like a little piece of it got stuck there. So I thought a bug had landed on me. And that is my worst nightmare. I'm just lucky I wasn't holding my beer at the time, honestly. I don't like bugs, man.
Oh my God.
I mean, no, some people like bugs. I was going to say, I know nobody likes bugs. I almost died from a spider bite once. I'm allowed to be sorry. I don't know. I'm like so vigorously defending my reaction to this bug situation. Like my pride is a little hurt, I think. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. She's just over there in her piss chair.
The harder I laugh, the harder I pee. So
it's a dangerous game.
All right, everyone, finish your drink at this point.
Well, yeah, we lost the bug. He lives here now. I'm embarrassed. And I was having such a good day.
I don't know. I'm having a better day now.
Yeah, your day just turned around.
Anyway. I might adopt a cat tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they got back to you?
So I met this cat at the dog parade, and they were doing it was a cat rescue. So they had a couple different cats in little cages that you could go see, whatever. All the cats were pretty shy. They were just sleeping, being really cute, whatever, cuddling. This was kind of a big boy, and he had a little spider collar, Halloween collar on. And he was just strutting his stuff. He was loving his life. He was looking at everyone, trying to get everyone to pet him.
Exactly the type of cat you always get.
Yeah, didn't care about the dogs around. Like, he was just living his life. So I kind of looked at my husband. I was like, oh, no. Like, I want this fucking cat. And my husband was like, let's get the cat.
It's even funnier to me because literally the night before I had told you, I think you should get another cat. And you were like, no, I could never get another cat. Like, I told my husband, do not get me another cat. I don't want another cat. And then literally the next day she texts me, I think I might get this cat.
Okay. It's because I still really don't think I'm ready. Like, I'm scared. I'm like, can I love another cat so soon? Like, after I
Yeah,
lost...
you absolutely will.
But I feel like when I met this cat, I like felt something. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I felt something. So anyway, I fill out this fucking 10-page application answering all these weird questions. I'm like, geez Louise.
Yeah,
like,
they're trying to make sure you're not going to put this cat in like a bag and drown it.
I mean, people could lie.
That's true. And actually, psychopaths are the best liars.
That's true.
I used to work at an aquarium, and they had like a personality test you had to take before you could work there or whatever. And the person who did the best on the personality test ended up getting arrested because he was like a violent criminal.
See?
Yeah, because he was so good at the personality test because he was like such a liar.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I'm filling out this fucking 10-page application, and then I emailed them twice. They don't get back to me until like days later. And then the foster mom of the cat that I want calls me, and I'm like, I have like a 20-minute conversation with her about this cat.
Thorough.
Then they're like, oh, let's set up a meet and greet. Like, I'm meeting a fucking celebrity.
Who is this cat? Ariana Grande's cat? Or
Listen,
what is this?
His name is Tesla, so obviously he's a big deal.
Would you rename him?
No.
You keep it Tesla?
I don't rename them.
Oh.
I don't know. He already had that name for like almost a year.
We renamed Tom.
I don't remember what his name was.
It was like Adonias or something fucking stupid.
That's because I couldn't say that.
Yeah, you're like, that's why I don't remember it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not going to say that
my
name.
brain just blocked it out.
But I didn't rename Irwin. I didn't rename Patches. So I don't know. I think I'll just keep it Tesla. I don't know.
I renamed Sydney.
What was her name?
Gemma.
Oh.
I can't have a Gemma in my house.
No, you don't look like you would have a Gemma.
Imagine if I was walking here and somebody was like, cute dog, what's her name? And I was like, Gemma. They'd be like, you just stole that dog, actually. That's not your dog.
You can't even say the name, so yeah.
How am I supposed to say it?
I don't know. You're just pronouncing it really harshly. Gemma.
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 Listen, I'm a basic ass bitch, so I can say that kind of name.
Yeah.
Gemma.
Sid Vicious comes off better for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, well, I hope you get Tesla. I think you deserve him.
We'll see what happens.
And he's young. He's only 7 months, you said?
10 months.
10 months? That's perfect. You need a young cat. No
But
more
he's a
old cats for you.
Big boy.
You love the big boys.
He does not look like I was so shocked when
I was
they
surprised
said,
actually when you said he was under a year as well.
Yeah.
Because he is a big boy, so he's only going to get bigger.
He's big and he kind of looks old.
He just looks like a full-grown cat. He doesn't look like a kitten at all.
So I was like shocked. She was like, he's 10 months. He was born January 2021. I was like, what the fuck?
You were like, bring it on, Tesla.
Honestly, because I usually go for the older cats. So
Yeah, well, I think that's the trend that we need to stop for a little bit. You can get back into the older cats later because they die too soon and then you get real sad and weird.
Yeah, but I want to save them.
And you can do that again. I just think you deserve at least one cat that's going to give you like a good full 15. You know what I mean?
But what about the ones that deserve me?
Yeah, you can get more cats later. I'm just saying you need at least one that's going to go the gambit. You know what I mean?
I know, that's what my husband says, but
you can get more old cats. I don't care. Get as many old cats as you want. Just get one fucking cat you'll have for longer than like 5 years, please.
I had Irwin for 8.
Okay, it's great. I'm just saying we could go longer.
And
we could do more.
Patches for 6.
We could do more.
Yeah.
Now think it Tesla, clean slate. You can feed him the best food. He'll live for fucking 20 years.
I hope so.
Yeah, there you go. Done and done.
If they don't give me this cat, though, I'm legit just going to the shelter and getting 2 immediately.
Yeah, I think you should. That's
Yeah.
what I recommended. It's what the doctor ordered.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of what the doctor ordered,
What?
a little time off, a little R&R
Oh, yes.
for the ladies.
For the ladies.
So next week we are going to be skipping a week. Amanda is going to go to Florida to visit her parents, And instead of trying to fit in a double recording session and rush and do whatever, we're going to just take 1 week off.
Where Cassidy does not have to edit shit.
Oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
I know. What are you going to do?
I'm going to read like 1,000 books.
Amazing.
I'm going to take 10 baths a day.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
I can't wait. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I'm so happy for me. So just keep an ear out. I don't know. I was going to say keep an eye out for that.
Take it easy.
Just take it easy.
That's what I thought you were going to
And leave me alone. Nobody call, nobody write, please. But no, so just if it's missing next week, that's why. We're so sorry. Yeah.
If you're new here, start from the beginning.
Just go listen to an old episode.
Yeah.
We're just as annoying back then, so.
And if you're old here, start from the beginning.
Yeah. Listen to an old favorite. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
We do appreciate all of our listeners and everything, but yeah, we have not taken a single week off since we've started doing this. And
I mean, except for when shit hits the fan, but then we end up getting one out anyway.
I was going to say, we always still end up getting an episode out, even if it's a little late. This is going to be the first time ever we actually take a full week off, and I'm not stuck editing 2 episodes at once.
That's right.
But on the bright side, when Amanda gets back from Florida, we're going to record a Patreon episode and a regular episode, so our cool kids will be getting an extra episode for the missed episode, and we'll be right back on schedule like it never happened.
For your regularly scheduled programming.
Yes. And speaking of cool kids.
Oh. You're just the segues?
I am just segueing like an MC over here.
Amazing.
Let's say welcome to our newest cool kids. Hello, Stevie. I absolutely love that name, by the way.
So cute, right?
And the way it's spelled is really cute. Stevee.
Adorable.
So cute. I literally love that. Welcome, Stevie. Welcome, Valerie.
Valerie.
There, I knew you were going to sing that. I was waiting for it.
No, so predictable.
In like a positive way. I literally love that song. Welcome, Beth.
Beth?
That's a name. Actually, Beth was my mom's best friend's name.
Beth is also the name of one of the characters in Little Women.
Oh, I want to watch that. Because I like what's her name? Florence
Pugh.
Florence Pugh. I like
her too.
She's a mullet now. Did you see it? It looks good.
Oh, no.
And welcome, Karen. We've chatted on Instagram. Hello, you're very cool.
You are very cool, Karen.
She always send me funny things.
The sweetest, there's just the sweetest, kindest messages, like when
very nice.
I was having a bad week last week.
Oh, that's so
nice.
It
just makes me feel good.
You guys rock. Like, that kind of stuff actually really does mean a lot to us. I know, like, it seems silly because we're strangers technically, but we are really honest on this podcast. So when you guys honestly reply to our honesty, it makes us feel good.
It really does.
Yeah. So thank you so much. We really appreciate that. If you want to join our Patreon, you can find that at dtkpod.com/support. You can also find all of our merch on there. You can find our review us. So if you don't want to spend any money, you can go on there and just leave us a 5-star review, which we love.
Please review us. I feel like we haven't gotten that many lately, and I want more.
We got a bunch of good ones.
We did get good ones. You're right. Sorry. I'm being selfish.
I was going to say, like, what the fuck? You just posted one of them on our Instagram.
I know,
like,
that was
2
a
days
good
ago.
one.
That was really nice. And there was another one that I really loved too that was like, don't listen to the bad reviews. Like, it's a chatty podcast. So if you don't like chatty podcasts, don't listen to it. But it's a good podcast.
Yeah. Literally. That's like my coworker the other day. She was like, she found my Instagram for the first time, so she friended me, and she was like, "Oh, like you have a podcast that's so cool." And we were like kind of talking about it a little bit. And then another one of my coworkers walked up and was like, "Oh yeah, I listened to an episode once." And I was like, "And then what?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. Like you talk a lot, so." And I was like, oh, "Okay."
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I'm like, if you just don't like chat, you're just not gonna like us. If you don't like chatty podcasts, like that's fine.
I'm okay with it.
I'm fine with that.
We don't want you anyway.
Why? You're so mean
I'm just kidding.
on the podcast.
It's a joke.
I'm so nice. I'm just happy that you're here.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm happy you're here too.
Yes, once more with feeling there, Amanda. Oh, this is such a good beer. Wow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This is the Razzler by Common Space Brewery. It's a raspberry wheat beer. It's good. It's a little tart.
Yeah, I like that beer.
Very good. 5%. Not bad. Now we're talking. It's a Belgian white ale, technically. I love the can. Big fan of this Razzler. Should we get started?
I suppose.
Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
I don't know. You?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Do you need to pee or anything first?
No.
Okay.
I already peed.
Well, I
In
don't
my
know.
pants.
Oh, that's right. You already evacuated.
Oh, your dog's head is keeping my foot warm?
Good for you, because it is friggin'
Yeah, I'm
freezing
really
here,
happy
dude.
about
It's
that.
so cold. Like, what the hell is happening? So I'm going to be doing a case today that is near and dear to my little heart. I'm going to be covering the case of Tommy and Jesse, also known as TalHotBlonde.
Yes!
I'm so excited.
Let's go, girls.
Let's go, girls.
Okay.
TalHotBlonde is one of my favorite Lifetime movies of all time, and you will see why in a minute.
I've never seen it,
I know I told you don't watch it until I
know.
cover the real, because it's based on this real case.
and I need to watch it.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to want to watch it once you hear the story. It's a little bit different. Like, the movie's a little bit different, but it's pretty close. I was, like, surprised that they didn't change as much as I thought they would. So my sources today were a Wired magazine article by Nadia Labi, a Daily Beast article by Larry Getlin, a New York Times article by David Staba, and little clips from the documentary TalHotBlonde. Because there's also a documentary about it of the same name.
Perfect.
In 2005, Tommy Montgomery was an 18-year-old Marine sniper in training. He was from upstate New York, a really small town, like right outside of Buffalo.
Okay.
Like right outside of Buffalo. And he was in a chat room for teens using the username Marine Sniper. And this was on a gaming website called Pogo, which was apparently very popular back then. I don't know. I was like a child. So,
2005?
yeah.
Oh.
Why?
I don't know it. I was like 14.
Oh. Yeah, so it's called Pogo. Apparently you could like go on there and like play games and, you know, like you could play bingo or you could play Texas Hold'em or you could play card games and they're also like chat rooms or whatever.
Honestly, I was also in chat rooms at 14 pretending to be
Yeah,
tall, hot blondes. Oh my God.
You used to catfish adult people.
I know.
So creepy.
As tall, hot blondes.
You were always a tall, hot blonde?
Yes. Every time.
This is a lot to unpack right now.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Okay.
You might have to do your whole own episode about your own weird thing because you were catfishing people.
I really did.
I did not catfish anybody on the internet, but I would sometimes just stay up really late and message people weird things like secrets that they didn't want to know. Like, surely. I thought it was mysterious.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Listen, I was a nerd. I don't know what to tell you. Anyhow, back to 2005. So, Marine Sniper, or Tommy, is on this website called Pogo, and he gets a message from a user named TalHotBlonde Big 50.
Big 50.
Yeah, that's the full, and also tall is spelled with one L, so
Perfect.
TalHotBlonde.
Tall.
Expecting a friendly or maybe even flirty message, he opens it kind of excitedly, but instead the message from TalHotBlonde is informing him that he's in a teen chat room and his profile says that he's in his 40s.
Oh.
So he needs to get the fuck out of there.
Okay, tall, hot blonde.
Yeah, TalHotBlonde is not having any of your shit.
No.
Tommy, of course, immediately apologized and he was like, oh shit, sorry, I'm on my dad's account because I'm Tommy Jr. I'm on my dad Tom Sr.'s account. And I didn't know that I needed to change the age, like whatever, right? So from that, the two actually begin talking and they become friends really quickly. They end up flirting and getting along really well. And Tommy learned that TalHotBlonde Big 50 was actually a 17-year-old girl named Jessie from West Virginia. Jessie was a senior in high school and was completely enamored with 18-year-old Marine Tommy.
Love those Marines, baby.
You know what?
I don't, actually. I'm going to be honest.
People love a man in uniform.
Yeah.
I get it.
I get the uniform.
Yeah, there's something that's like the crisp edges, maybe. I prefer a couple home done tattoos myself, but
Yeah, they just always like I don't know. They always look the same to me.
They do force them to like get the same haircuts and
Yeah.
stuff, so it makes sense. And they're usually a certain type of guy, if you know what I mean.
I do.
So slowly, as they become closer and closer, Tommy starts to tell her all of his most intimate secrets, like heavy shit, right?
Don't
and of
do
course,
it.
through a computer screen, you feel anonymous, but you also feel close with this person. Like, that's what was wrong with me. I was just spilling secrets because I don't have to look at them in the face, you know?
Yeah, I was just lying about who I was because you don't have to look at them in the face.
The two sides of the same coin. So he was telling Jesse like how much his mother dying of cancer when he was 12 had affected him, and it caused him to act out in his teen years, and all this bad behavior culminated in him sexually assaulting a cheerleader at his high school when he was 17,
Oh, shit.
which is actually how he ended up in the Marines so young, because after that basically his life was ruined, so he decided to join the military.
Okay, but you're the one that did it.
Yeah, you still raped someone, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, bizarre. So he told Jesse how he had been shot multiple times, and now he was being trained as a scout sniper for the U.S. Marines because he was such a good shot, and how he was about to be shipped off to the Middle East after this final phase of training to be a sniper. He also told her that he was planning on killing himself once he made it to Iraq because of how fucked up his life had been and how much regret he had about his whole life situation.
Shit.
So this, of course, prompted Jesse to tell him, please stay alive for me. And it kind of created this insane, fucked up, like, codependent bond, right? Like, she felt like she had to keep him alive, and he was kind of putting his mental health issues onto her. Eventually, of course, the two start exchanging photos. Tommy is sending pictures of himself in his uniform, and Jesse is sending photos of her in a bikini at the beach and posing for the camera wearing short skirts and tight dresses. Allegedly, some of the photos were a little more scandalous, where there might have been some coochie or boobies, but I couldn't, 100% confirm that, as I think she was underage. But she actually was a tall, hot blonde. So Tommy's like, score. Like, how was I supposed to expect that this was actually the person that I was talking to?
You don't know that.
And Tommy...
Trust me, it is really easy to Google tall, hot blonde and snag a picture from the internet and put it in a chat room. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he would be like, oh, can you send me a pic? Like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm doing this. Can you send me a picture from it? And she would.
Okay.
So he was like, okay, this is legit. Like, it's not just the same selfie 50 times.
Okay.
And so Tommy, trying to keep her attention, explained in detail how he was super ripped from being in the military and how he had over $2 million in savings and how he had a 9-inch penis.
Let's see it, Tommy.
9 inches.
Let's fucking see it.
I don't know if he was claiming that flaccid or hard, but
Either way, I don't think.
it's excessive. It's a little excessive. Since Tommy was going to be shipping out soon and there wasn't any time for them to meet in person just yet, she was in West Virginia and he was in upstate New York, like I said. But Tommy actually gave Jesse his dad, Tom Sr.'s contact info so that if she ever had trouble contacting him while he was in the Middle East, his dad could make sure that he got all the messages and like any packages or anything that got sent to him.
Do we know at this point if these are really these are the people that they say they are?
Oh
no, I have to wait.
just wait.
Okay. Sorry.
This is master storytelling by me, okay?
All right.
I
Yeah, you're
arranged
doing a
this
good
in a very
job.
specific way. The two very quickly told each other that they loved one another, and talks of weddings and starting a family when Tommy returned from war became a huge subject in their chats, along with cybersexting pretty often.
Of course. Why not?
Jesse even told Tommy that when they got together finally, like in person, it would actually be her first time. Like she'd be losing her virginity to him.
All right.
But of course, all that is gold cannot stay. And Tommy soon found out that Jesse was actually sending some of these racy photos to other men on Pogo.
Jesse.
And when he confronted her about it, she actually admitted to it and apologized and was like, listen, I just really like the attention. I wasn't sure if you were as serious about me as you were saying you were, so I just wanted to keep my options open. And Tommy, of course, was super angry at her, and he's like, you know, I don't know if I can forgive you for this. This is like such a betrayal. But Jessie ends up mailing him an envelope with a pair of her underwear that were reportedly a G-string thong and a necklace that had a J and a T engraved on a heart.
Oh my gosh.
So, of course, he forgives her. Meanwhile, Tommy's dad, so sometimes she would still communicate with Tommy's dad, Tom Sr., who she just ended up calling Dad.
Wait.
Because Tommy's in the Middle East at this point.
Okay.
So she would talk to the dad and be like, hey, could you send him this? Or like, hey, I'll send this package to your house and you can send it to the Middle East or whatever.
Okay, so his dad knows about her.
Yes.
Doesn't think it's weird.
Well, he tells her, I don't think you're good for my son. Tommy is a stupid idiot just for forgiving you just because you're pretty, and kind of relentlessly would bring it up and be like, I think you're not a good person. And like, I don't know why Tommy forgave you. And she would say things to him like, well, Tommy forgave me. Why can't you? And he'd be like, because I'm not stupid.
Okay. Fair.
Apparently, Tommy's dad also told her that he was a big guy and that he also had a huge dick. I don't know why they were so obsessed with their dick sizes. Yeah.
Wait. Why did Tommy's dad tell her that?
I have no idea, but apparently, I don't know how like it casually came up in conversation. I read a lot of all of these chats, but there's literally millions of messages.
So
like they were chatting. Everybody in this whole situation was chatting like almost constantly.
So Jessie and the dad were sending gross messages to each other.
Not gross, but like he just mentioned like, oh, my son's like built like me, I think is what it seemed like he was trying to, but it still was creepy. And like she's this hot 18-year-old, 17-year-old. She turns 18 at some point, I think, allegedly. But yeah, so I don't know.
Disgusting.
So Tommy ends up proposing to Jessie around Christmas time. And when she accepts, he sends poinsettias to her house because it's Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in 2005 still, so right before it becomes 2006. And he tells her that he gets always and forever, which is like the thing they say to each other at the end of every conversation and how they sign their names and stuff, tattooed on his forearm, which prompts her to send more risky photos, more cybersexing, and more unmentionables in the mail to him.
You haven't even met her, bro.
No.
Oh my God. Why are people so stupid?
These two have been communicating for almost 8 months at this point when Jessie gets something concerning in the mail. It's a photo of a 45-year-old man with his wife and 2 teen daughters, and attached is a note, quote-unquote, introducing the man who Jessie thought she was talking to. Tommy was actually Tom. Oh, and he was also playing his own father in this scenario. And Tom was a 45-year-old factory worker in Clarence, New York.
Tom was the catfish this whole time? I thought it was Jessie. What?
So the photos that he had sent to Jessie were nearly 30 years old from when he actually had been in the Marines when he was 18 himself. And his wife of 16 years, Cindy, had discovered something was wrong. Or she'd like kind of realized something was wrong. Like for a while, she said, like in interviews, but discovered what it probably was when she found the underwear, photos, and the jewelry Jessie had sent to Tom in like a secret hiding place.
Oh my God.
Then it was all confirmed when one of their daughters said that she had seen some weird messages on the computer after she used it after her dad. And then, of course, Cindy goes to investigate the computer, and she finds all of these messages between them. Like, there's just hundreds and hundreds and thousands of messages between him and this girl. And she's like, oh my God, he's pretending to be an 18-year-old Marine in Fallujah.
Oh my God.
And also pretending to be his own father.
No wonder he fucking said something weird about his dick.
Yeah. Fucking freak, pedophile, weirdo.
Oh
like, this
God.
is a 17-year-old girl when he starts talking to her. And it's like, there's like some debate about this because everyone's not sure if she was 17 or 18. I was like, he's pedophile.
It doesn't matter.
Also, he's pedophile adjacent either way. And like, I'm sorry, that's close enough for me.
It's close enough for me.
That's close enough for me. So obviously this is like very shocking. And Cindy, his wife, is like, okay, like she said to the Daily Beast, like, I knew something was going on. I just couldn't put together exactly what it is. Like, they hadn't had sex in like 6 or 7 months. And he was obsessive with the computer, like kicking the kids off of it as soon as they get done with their homework. He would stay up all night. He would like wake up really early in the morning and take like phone calls. And so she was like, I knew something was going on, but I did not expect it to be him catfishing. I don't even know if that term existed back then. Catfishing this little girl in West Virginia.
Bro, I really thought Jesse was going to be the catfish here.
So Cindy later said, when she was asked why she even sent the mail to Jesse, she said the reason was because she's a mother and she knew that Jesse was a young girl and she wanted her to know that she was being duped by a predator. She was like, if that happened to one of my teen daughters, I would want them to know, like, hey, this person that you thought existed did not, and you were being tricked. Like, not just, you didn't just get ghosted, which once again, that term did not exist back then. But like, no, this guy is a fucking creep.
Yeah, ugh.
But of course, Jessie is an 18-year-old girl who's in love.
Oh my
right?
God, no.
So she doesn't want to believe it. She thinks that maybe this is like a jealous ex or some sort of prank that somebody's playing on her, because this guy in this photo is like this chubby, balding, redheaded guy with a mustache who's like has like grandpa glasses and like 2 teen daughters. She's like, there's no way this is my Tommy. I've seen pictures of him. There's no way. So she starts doing some research of her own, and she finds one of Tommy's friends who Tommy had brought up a lot and been like, oh yeah, we worked together, and they would play on like internet games like BOGO and stuff together. And so she ends up messaging this guy.
Who is an old man, I'm assuming.
No, who's a 22-year-old college student. And his name is Brian Barrett, but his username, which this is my favorite username of them all, was Beefcake1572.
Amazing.
Incredible work.
Also, why did I go to high school with a guy named Brian Barrett?
Oh, really?
I did.
Oh.
Wait. From upstate New York.
Yeah, this guy would have been too old to go to high school with you.
Okay, true.
He was 22 in 2006. So this is 2006 by now. But yeah, so he's a 22-year-old student who worked nights at the same factory, Dynabraid, as Tom. So Beefcake, unfortunately, breaks the news to Jessie that Tommy is, in fact, not a real person, but instead this gross-ass man, Thomas Montgomery. Apparently, Tom had not been very sneaky at work about this affair, and he would brag to whoever would listen that he has this hot, blonde, 18-year-old bombshell girlfriend who he's going to run away with once he has money saved up, and they're going to get married, and they have like this super hot sex, and like really he'd never met this girl, and he was catfishing her, so that never would have happened in a million years anyway.
When she saw you, she would have been like, bye.
Yeah, but he had been bragging to everyone at work, so this Brian guy was like, yeah, I know he's been talking to you because he's been bragging about it at work, but he definitely is not an 18-year-old Marine sniper. Like, that's not real. He's just this old dude with 2 teenage daughters. Apparently, Brian had also been like kind of mentored by Thomas, so I think he felt kind of let down by this situation too, where he's like, you're just a fucking creep, dude.
Yeah, you're a pedophile creep weirdo.
Yeah, so Brian and Jessie end up forming a bond over this, and they are intent to expose Tom for talking to an underage girl and lying about his age online.
Hell yeah.
And his whole life, basically. So not long after this, Jessie and Brian start a relationship of their own, and they start going into public forums and being like, you're not who you say you are. Like, anytime like Tommy, quote unquote, would log in, they would like call him out and they would like talk shit to him. And, you know, Jessie's going, you need to make sure you tell everyone at work that who he is and what he's doing and like all this shit.
She didn't contact the police?
Nobody contacted the police, no. And this, of course, enrages Tom, who had gotten himself so deep into this fantasy that he had actually started to believe it himself. So he actually wrote himself a note. This is so weird. And this was right after New Year's in 2006. And the note read, on January 2nd, 2006, Tom Montgomery, 46 years old, ceases to exist and is replaced by an 18-year-old battle-scarred Marine. He is moving to West Virginia to be with the love of his life.
Hello, true crime fans. Greg here. The sponsor of today's show is Nutribullet. I just got the Nutribullet blender combo, and I'm absolutely loving it. The Nutribullet Blender Combo is a full-size blender that you can switch between single-serve and full-size blending. The combo comes with a seriously powerful 1200-watt motor base, an easy-twist extractor blade to attach to a 24-ounce handled cup and a 32-ounce cup, both with to-go lids, and a 64-ounce pitcher with lid and tamper. Right out of the box, I popped the cups and the lids in the top shelf of my dishwasher. Aaron and I have been making smoothies every morning, and these single-serve cups are going to cut down on dishes for sure. Now, over the next few weeks, I'll be making all sorts of things from the provided recipe book. It's going to be super fun. I've worked out a 20% off for listeners, so go to Nutribullet.com, use promo code TRUECRIME for 20% off your order. Once again, that's Nutribullet.com. Use promo code TRUECRIME for 20% off. Thank you so much to Nutribullet for supporting independent podcast creators.
Life doesn't work like that, bro.
No. And I was like, first of all, where are your crystals? We're going to be manifesting like this. Did you even make moon water? I doubt it.
No, he probably doesn't even know what that is.
Ugh, what an amateur. But yeah, and apparently in this letter, he wrote about how he had all this money. He's like, I have $2 million in the bank, and I'm not going to leave Cindy high and dry. I'm going to give her half of my money so she can be taken care of. Meanwhile, this is a guy who works a factory job who makes 30 grand a year. He's not wealthy in the least.
Bro, if I'm his wife, Cindy, I'm immediately packing up and leaving his ass.
Oh, Cindy was like, we're done.
Yeah.
And forced him to live in the basement. Because she was like, I understand you can't afford somewhere else to live, and I'm not going to move the girls out of the house, so you can live in the basement and continue paying the bills. But we're not together. We're done.
Hell yeah.
She was very, Cindy's kind of a badass, honestly. I love that she sent Jesse a letter, too. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, you whore. It was like, hey, just so you know, you were led on and misled and lied to the same way I was.
Yeah, she was innocent in all this.
Yeah. So clearly this dude is not in an ideal mental state, as what's one way you could put it. And he continues talking to Jesse online. He actually confides in Jesse that this ruined his whole life. His wife made him move into the basement. Parents of the other kids, of his daughter's friends' parents and stuff, don't trust their kids around him, which, they shouldn't. You're a fucking creep.
I would not.
Yeah, why would I let my teenage daughter around you when you're a fucking pedophile?
Yeah.
His daughters thought he was a creep. They didn't want to talk to him. Everyone at work thought he was either a pedophile or just a fucking loser. And
or both.
I think you're both, brother. I think those two things go hand in hand. And Jesse was having a really hard time letting him go because she had been so committed to this idea of Tommy. And even though she was with Brian now.
Why are you still talking to him?
She's an 18-year-old girl.
Ugh.
But she's with Brian now.
They're dating?
They're dating, yeah.
Have they met?
No.
Oh, my God.
But she would often still chat with Tom, saying that she felt like Tommy had died. She felt like she was mourning this person. And that she had planned this whole life with him and with someone that never even existed. And so sometimes when they would talk, it felt like he was still there. Because it's still over the screen. She can picture Tommy in her head. And she doesn't need to realize that it's this, fat, balding, older guy who totally tricked her.
Ew, and imagine, him, jerking off to her pictures.
Which he absolutely did.
Yeah. Ugh.
Disgusting. Men are a nightmare. But yeah, so when Tom would spiral and say that he wanted to complete suicide, she would talk him down, and she felt kind of trapped, I think, in this conversation with him, and even admitted to Tom that she only got with Brian out of revenge because she felt like her life, quote unquote, became a living hell since she found out that Tommy wasn't real, and everything she thought was based on a lie.
Okay, but you're still talking to a 45-year-old creeper.
Yes. So she still stayed with Beefcake Brian, and they were cyber banging all the time.
Is he a beefcake?
He's pretty cute, honestly. He lives like an Italian guy. He lives very 2005 cute.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Ashley Parker Angel from O-Town.
Don't know what that means.
Okay.
But yeah. So she's cyber banging with Brian all the time, as well as just talking about normal young people shit. And I don't think she did that as much with Tommy, but Brian actually is 22. So she was complaining about her mom and planning her outfit for prom and just girly shit like that. And then things get kind of really weird and love triangle-y with Tom kind of cosplaying as Tommy to keep her company. Like, he would, like, kind of fall into that persona so that she would keep talking to him. And then he tells her, like, I'm not sleeping for days at a time. I'm just sitting here waiting for you to log in because I don't want to be asleep when you log on. And everyone at his work was like, yeah, he's clearly not sleeping. He also gets really angry and berates her often about Brian and about her being a whore and all this, like, mean stuff.
And at this point, are Tom and Brian working in the same place?
They do, but they work different shifts.
Okay.
Like, Tom works the early shift and Brian works the later shift.
Okay.
So his coworkers also noticed that this guy's unraveling. He was running 5 miles a day, going to the gym for 2 hours after that, and then also acting like super aggressive at work, making vague threats to people, threatening comments, talking about shooting guns, saying like, oh, Brian needs to pay for this in blood, like shit like that.
Oh, he's for sure going to kill Brian.
And he was also making real threats to Jessie, saying that he was going to dox her address so that all of the quote-unquote West Virginia N-words could come and murder her in her home.
What the fuck?
And this goes on for literally months. Like, he got exposed in, like, March or April, and this is now September. And it all comes to a head on September 13th, 2006, when after a fight where he called her a whore again, Jessie finally says, I've had enough, I'm logging off, I'm done with this. And she actually does. So he doesn't think she's actually going to do it. So he's messaging her unanswered messages over and over again, being like...
What do you mean logging off?
Like, being like, I'm done with this account, I'm not going to get back on,
Okay.
We're done talking. And he doesn't think it's true, so he's like messaging her, whatever, and they're not going through, and she's not logging back on. And so he does that for 2 days before calling her very early on the morning of September 15th, screaming at her, and she told police that he was in a, quote, uncontrollable rage, so she hung up on him.
Okay.
And that same night of September 15th, at 10:15 p.m., Brian Barrett clocks out of work and is going to get his stuff situated in his truck when Thomas Montgomery shoots him through this truck door 3 times, killing him.
Oh my God.
He's shot in the chest, the face, and the neck.
Brian.
I know, poor Brian. He just seemed like such a sweet guy, too. He's just, like, going to school and, like, working this job and just, like, wanted to talk to this cute girl online who he thought he was helping, right? And when Brian's body is discovered, coworkers immediately are like, yeah, of course it's fucking Tom. Like, that dude's been a freak, and he's basically threatening to kill someone, like, every other day.
Yeah, like, we all know who it was.
Exactly. And I guess they found, like, a peach pit on the scene that had Tom's DNA on it, which that came out later, but which is weird because the last username that she used was, like, peaches_17_19 or whatever.
And of course he's just going around eating a fucking peach as he kills somebody.
Well, and it's just like, I feel like there's no way that wasn't planned. Like, there's no way
Yeah.
he was just like happened to be eating a peach at the scene where he killed her boyfriend.
He's like, I'm going to be a serial killer and leave peach pits wherever I go.
Yeah, he's just like, he's just out of his mind, dude. He's
Yeah.
like, I saw one psychiatrist describe it as when he got exposed, it was like his reality got broken and he was, there was no chance that something violent wasn't going to happen because he
Yeah.
was so invested in this fake reality he had made.
Dude, his poor kids.
Oh my gosh, his daughters.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Police go through his computer and they discover this whole Jessie situation. And at this point, the murder was hours ago and no one knows where Montgomery is. So the police immediately call Jessie and warn her before sending local PD to her house to keep her safe. This is like the middle of the night.
But she's hours and hours and hours away.
She's in West Virginia, but he has a 5-hour head start.
Oh, shit.
So he could be anywhere. So when the West Virginia PD show up, Mary Sheeler, who is Jessie's mother, answers the door and tells the police that she doesn't know where her daughter is. And the cops are like, how? We literally just talked to her on the phone like 15 minutes ago before we came here. What do you mean you don't know where she is? And like she was like getting really angry and being like, I don't know where she is. I don't know where I'm at. Like, she left. She's doing her own thing. Like, da-da-da-da-da. And then after some very uncomfortable conversations, it becomes clear that while Jessie is a real person, her 45-year-old mother, Mary, had actually been using her name, all her photos, and, yeah, and lying to seduce men on the internet.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What? You got a fucking innocent 22-year-old killed, you fucking bitch. Oh my, I'm done with the story.
It's crazy, right?
Thank you, next.
So she had been using like scandalous photos of her own daughter, and even there's
that's child pornography.
And there was like that's why I was like, I'm not sure if there were like inappropriate photos. Some of the sources that I read implied that there were.
Of course there were some.
But I'm not sure. But like Jessie was actually 18 or 19 at this point, and she was in college in Virginia. So she didn't even know, she wasn't even home. She didn't even know any of this was going on.
Oh my God.
And her mother had done this to like multiple men across the internet using her daughter's photos, and claimed that she didn't even realize at first that she was using her daughter's account to play pogo until it was too late, until men were being like, oh, TalHotBlonde, and then she liked the attention.
No. You're a sick fuck.
Yeah. So Thomas Montgomery was arrested, and when he knew about the DNA evidence and all that stuff, he actually ends up pleading guilty to manslaughter, and he gets 20 years in prison. Mary Sheeler, meanwhile, has never been charged with anything, but her husband and her daughter, Jessie, both completely cut her off and no, I'm never talking to you again.
Good.
Thomas Montgomery's family, his two daughters, also said the same thing. They completely cut him off. And when asked by the Daily Beast why she continued talking to Thomas once she knew everything that was going on, she said she was doing a service because she felt like by continuing to talk to him, she was stopping him from talking to other real teenage girls. Since she knew he was a predator.
But you were also in a teen chat.
Yeah, no, she's just a fucking psycho, dude.
Oh my God.
She's a psycho.
What the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's an insane story.
And one of the things that like I read in one of the articles I was reading that I thought was really interesting is they're like, these are just two bored adults that if they just would have tried to meet each other, probably would have liked each other. They obviously had a lot in common and liked each other. But instead they created these like fantasy worlds where they were both catfishing each other, and then it ended up in these broken fantasies and weird realities. And It's like the dangers of the anonymous nature of the internet, because you can be whoever you want to be.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you think you are on the internet. You're not actually that person.
Correct.
And like that is so jarring for people because they create these personas. I mean, we see that all the time with like those influencers and stuff that are like, I'm done being an influencer. And they'll tell like the real stories behind their pictures. They'll be like, oh, this is me posting that I'm having so much fun. And really, I took 500 pictures. I hated all of them. I cried about being fat for 45 minutes. It totally ruined my day, ruined my vacation, but I had to post a photo.
Right.
And it's like this is like the epitome of like the worst it could go, of like this toxic idea of like being someone different on the internet than you are in real life, and it really affecting your mental health.
Like when I was like 13, 14 in these chat rooms, like pretending to be, you know, a 19-year-old tall, hot blonde. But I was literally, obviously I'm 14, so I'm an idiot, right?
Yeah.
Thinking I'm just doing something funny.
Yeah.
And I remember like it getting too weird where men would be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And then I would just log off and be like, oh, no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
But really, like, what something bad could have really happened.
Oh, absolutely. You're lucky it didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Or that you didn't get in too deep yourself, like liking somebody, and then really you're a 14-year-old girl, you get your ass murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the story of TalHotBlonde. Mary Sheeler to this day says she doesn't think she did anything wrong.
Yes, you did.
She has not expressed remorse. Even her own daughter said she has never even once said sorry to me about using my photos and my name and
Jessie could have gotten murdered.
Yeah, real Jessie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a really fucked up situation.
Dude. Poor Brian.
Poor Brian, and like his family has been very quiet about all of it because obviously there's so much shit show drama in this. It's like a movie, which that's why there are movies about it. And they just have been so quiet about it, and they just started like a fund in his name for people. And I just feel so bad for them. He was so young. He was the only actually young, innocent person in this entire thing.
Yeah. And she doesn't feel bad that Brian got killed.
Oh, well, apparently when his name was brought up, she was dabbing away tears, but she did not apologize or act like it was her fault at all in any way.
Oh, my God.
When she was emotionally manipulated, the same way the other psychopath, Thomas Montgomery, was trying to emotionally manipulate her, she was the same way doing it to him. Like,
Yeah.
they created this powder keg.
And had Thomas Montgomery known who she really was, like, he wouldn't have gone and murdered Brian.
Well, this, like, weird fantasy world would have never taken over. Don't get me wrong, I think he probably would have found somebody else to misplace his anger on. But, yeah, she was directly related to this, and she didn't try to stop it at all. She was egging him on. Like, a lot of these messages, she's egging him on in his anger and being like, you're right, I'm wrong, I'm such a whore, I'm this, I'm that. Like,
oh my God. Disgusting.
Yeah, it's just one of the... TalHotBlonde, it's a Lifetime movie, I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite fucking movies of all time. It's actually really well done.
I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it. It's crazy. But I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, there's no way this is actually based on a true story. And then I looked it up and like, yeah, and it's like pretty close.
Wow.
They did not change much.
Okay, I'm watching it.
I need you to.
I will.
I will watch it with you if you
want. Movie night.
Movie night, yeah. Maybe we can watch a couple Lifetime films.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Well, great job. Damn.
Thank you. I was like thinking about doing that one for so long, and then we were talking about the movie this week, and I was like, oh, I should just cover it already. I love that. I love that story.
Great fucking job.
It's so fucked.
It is really fucked.
Right now I get to sit back and drink my beer.
Sit back, relax.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy, baby. Okay, so I probably should have guessed that you were going to do that story.
Because I talked about doing it.
Because you mentioned it. You were like, oh, I need to do that one day. And I should have guessed you were going to do it this time. But for some reason, I didn't think about it when I found my story. And...
Do you have a catfish story too?
Same but different.
Okay.
So I don't know. This keeps happening.
This is the catfish edition?
This is the...
Drinking the catfish.
Internet dating?
Oh.
Episode, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you the story of Sharon Lopatka. So my sources were an article in the Washington Post by Fern Shen and Paul W. Valentine, an article on news.com by Jared Bartle, an article on nydailynews.com by David J. Krasicek, an article on dailydot.com by Rachel Bell, and Wikipedia. I also read a couple articles on the Baltimore Sun and
love the Baltimore Sun. They do amazing reporting.
They do.
Yeah,
they really
like a
do.
lot of their stuff is really, really good. I just always run out of my free articles with them.
That's what it was. So I had like little clips,
Yeah,
tidbits.
you're like, I can't read the whole thing, but I'm getting the tidbits.
Because I have, like, in doing this podcast, I have subscribed like $1 or whatever to so many different...
Me too, like New York Times.
New York Times. I'm on the Winnipeg Times now, and I keep getting emails from them. Need to cancel that.
Yeah, I'm on the New York Times. I'm on I can't remember the name of the some website that like gives me access to like journals.
Yeah.
Like doctorate journals and shit. Like people write their PhD like theses on.
See what we do for you people?
Yeah, this is where our cool kids come in handy. Get a little cash.
Literally. So Sharon Lopatka was born on September 20th, 1961, and she was raised in a very Orthodox Jewish household in Baltimore, Maryland. Her parents were very much into their religion. Her father was actually like a singer or a cantor, as they called it, at the synagogue that they went to, where he was always the one leading them in song and in prayer. Like that was his responsibility. So they were very, very big in their religion. And at a very early age, Sharon was just known as being a very normal person. Like all her classmates, everyone that knew her just said she was quite honestly just average as fuck.
God, it's such a goal.
Yeah, just to be completely average.
Yeah, like, do you know how just normal you have to be just for people to be like, yeah, she's just normal. Like, I would love that.
You hate being perceived.
I hate to be perceived. I don't want anyone to look at me, think about me, or be aware of me.
Right.
But I know that I am so mentally ill that is not an option.
You're also not normal, so.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's mental illness, isn't it?
I'm just assuming Sharon was probably really quiet.
Okay.
And probably didn't talk to like too many people, or she wasn't like crazy and loud and outgoing, is what I would assume. So in 1991, when Sharon was 30 years old, or almost 30, she fell in love with a man named Victor Lopatka. And the two of them ended up getting married. And this was kind of a controversial marriage because her parents, who, like I said, were very into their religion, did not approve of Victor for a few reasons.
Is he a goy?
What's that mean?
A white person?
He was a Catholic.
Oh, even worse.
Those damn Catholics.
Yeah.
So he was a Catholic, and he also was just like a construction worker. So these two things on top of each other, her parents were just like, he's not good enough for you. He's a construction worker. He's not Jewish. Like, what are you doing? And a lot of her classmates actually said that they think she ended up marrying him because she was trying to break away from her Orthodox Jewish household. Like, she didn't want to be part of that life.
It was a rebellious act.
Yeah, and she didn't want to be just seen as the normal average person. Like, she wanted to just step away from that.
Good for her. Sorry, I know something terrible is about to happen to somebody in the story. I shouldn't have
I know.
said
I
good
just
for
like
her.
I just look at you
Sorry.
like.
You're like, shut the fuck up.
So, like I said, even though her parents didn't approve, Sharon and Victor got married, and they relocated from Baltimore, Maryland to Hampstead, Maryland, which was like just a couple miles away. And they lived a very normal, average life.
She was like, dang, I thought Catholics were like way more risque. I thought this would be way more interesting.
Hate to break it to you, sweetie. We're not.
Just as boring as the rest of us. Actually, probably the Jewish is probably a little more exciting.
Listen, I grew up Catholic, and in college, our friend Eliana was Orthodox Jew, and she used to take me to...
Yeah, those are so... Remember we went together?
Yeah, we went to like some dinner.
I can't remember what it's called because I'm not Jewish.
Me
It's like
either,
a
I
Friday
can't
night
remember.
thing. Shabbat?
Shabbat?
I don't know. I could have just made that up.
I think it might...
It's offensive,
I'm
sure.
so sorry. I don't
I'm
remember.
so sorry. Eliana actually is famous on TikTok now. You've probably
She's
seen her.
so famous on
So
TikTok.
funny. Hello, Eliana. You don't listen. But yeah, it was so fun. We just got so drunk on wine.
So drunk.
And all I remember is when we went to church, we had to sit separate. Like there was like a sheet between us and the men.
Yes.
Which that was a little weird to me. But then I was like, it's kind of nice not to have to be near any men.
You know what? I'm going to have to agree.
Like at the time, I was like, this is an issue because feminism. But looking back, I'm like, I would actually like to be more places where there's less men.
Or at least a wall between us and the men.
Yeah, like they can be there. Like
Yeah.
maybe we'll go to like a baseball game and I'm in like the women's only section and there's like a sheet between me and the men because like then no beer will get spilled on
Well,
me.
yeah, but women are superior in this scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, not like the old days.
Well, that's actually because I asked them about that. Sorry, sidebar. Because you know me, I can't help myself in the worst. And I remember asking them, I'm like, don't you think it's a little offensive? Like the women have to like cover their bodies and we have to sit
And wear a wig.
wear a wig because men can't see your hair. And it was like sin attached to hair or something. I can't remember exactly what it was. They were like, no, it's just because women are so sacred and so special. Like men don't deserve
That's
to look at them.
Fucking
And
true.
I was like, you're making some points.
So true.
I think it's the same in the Muslim faith too. Like women are sacred. So like you're not supposed to be able to look at them except for your husband. He earned that right. Right?
Well,
What?
even him.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You're like, yeah. You're like, no, he's still not worthy, babe.
That's right. So by 1995, Sharon started to dabble in some online businesses in order to make some additional money for her and her husband. They weren't poor by any means, but like I said, he was just a construction worker. So she just wanted to make an additional income. So she ran a website called House of Dion, where she would sell like home decor guides or these like miniature magazines with tips and tricks on how to design your home. She would sell these for $7 and ship them anywhere in the world. And one of her advertisements from her website read, "Home decorating secrets seen in the posh homes from the New England states to the Hollywood homes can now be yours. Never published before. Quick, easy ways to decorate your home."
I loved that. That was great. The
Did I
voice
sound
you read
good?
it in. Yeah, just all of that. I'm sold. I'll buy it.
You want to buy it?
Take me to House of Dion right now, baby.
$7.
Perfect.
Cough it up.
I have $7.
All right.
Spent $120 on no groceries yesterday. So
True. Sharon also would run different websites offering things like psychic readings. So she was basically a mix of like a scammer and like maybe someone in an MLM is kind of how I'm looking at this.
So just a scammer.
Just a scammer. You're right.
Listen, I respect a scammer.
What am I saying?
I love a scam.
We love a scam.
Yeah, I have no hate for a scam.
So some of these odd little jobs that she did here and there, nothing really crazy. Listen, if you're buying a psychic reading off of somebody from a website, you got to know what you're expecting.
Yeah, I don't think she's like fleecing people for hundreds of thousands of dollars, like their life savings.
It was probably like, $30 and I'll read your fortune or something.
Yeah, that's
stupid.
great. I would love to do that.
Yeah, and she would also sell like love potions online. Listen, like I said again, you know what you're doing if you're ordering this kind of stuff on
I
her
have
website.
respect for this. I feel like I've almost bought things like that off of Etsy more than once.
I think I have. So
I agree. I'm pretty sure you have.
I think I have. But pretty soon she decides to kind of switch things up a little bit from her little innocent online scamming and really just go for the gusto. So Sharon, kind of like Jessie did in your story, except Jessie didn't sell them, but she starts selling her panties online, her dirty panties.
I've heard about this. You can get a lot of money for them.
You can.
I don't know why that's a scam. That's not a scam.
Well, it's only a scam because she was pretending to look a certain way that she wasn't.
That's fine. I think men who buy panties online deserve to get tricked.
I am going to have to agree. And I even wrote here, listen, I'm all for selling your dirty panties and having disgusting pieces of shit give you money for it.
Yeah, I think
I quite literally wrote that in my notes.
Literally use whatever photo you want to trick them. They deserve it.
So one of Sharon's posts actually read, "Hi, my name is Nancy. I am 25, have blonde hair, green eyes. I am 5'6" and weigh 121. Is anyone interested in buying my worn pantyhose or panties? This is not a joke or a wacky internet scam. I am very serious about this. I live in the US, but I can ship them anywhere in the world." Sorry, I'm putting on a voice when I read her posts.
I know. It's interesting. I'm always doing like my weird voiceover voices. I rarely get to see you in action.
Yeah, I feel like this is the voice that
This is your Nancy voice?
This is my Nancy voice. This is my online persona.
You were pretending to sell your panties.
Yeah.
You could probably get a lot of money for your piss-soaked panties.
I think
You just have to start wearing panties.
Oh my God.
They'll pay extra for the piss,
Is there a market
baby.
in that?
Are you kidding me? People are disgusting. Absolutely there is.
Listen.
Throw up a photo of, I don't know, who's some real hot friend we have.
Why not me?
Or you, whatever.
What
I
the
just
fuck?
figured you wouldn't want them to know it's you.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
Right.
you change the name. Go with Nancy. Why not? And then have like a stock image of some girl in a bikini. Be like, hey, I piss my pants every single night. Do you want me to vacuum seal these and send them over to you?
You know
like,
what?
50 men would be like, absolutely, I want that. Here's $25 each.
Listen, you can be my manager and we'll talk later.
Okay. This is an off the mic convo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Sharon, even though she wrote in this post that she's 5'6" and weighs 121 pounds, very specific, she was actually a much taller and a much larger woman. I believe she was like 5'10", and she was, borderline obese, overweight person. And another one of her like online personas or characters was a 300-pound dominatrix that she would also frequently use when she was speaking to people online. So she would often use this alias as Nancy Carlson. And when she was selling dirtier things other than, her psychic readings and love potions and home decor, that's really the persona she would go with. Otherwise, she kind of just went with herself. I'm Sharon Lopatka, and I sell home decor. And on top of the whole dirty panties situation, Sharon also started to sell fetish videos. So it started out pretty innocent, just on like those feet fetish websites selling pictures of her feet, videos of her toes. And then things got a little more intense when
How much for you to sell pictures of your feet?
$50.
Pretty steep.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's more than people pay, right?
I feel like at least, okay, maybe 35 so I can get a pedicure. I don't know.
Okay. I used to always think like, oh, I'd sell pictures of my feet for anything, and then I had people offering to buy pictures of my feet.
Didn't someone send? Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, someone just followed me on Instagram and just sent me cash on Venmo because I posted a picture of my feet were visible in on Instagram. And I was like, oh, it turns out I don't like this. This is terrifying.
Yeah, no, creepy. I don't think I could do it.
It made me feel very bad about myself, not going to lie.
So then things with Sharon got much more intense when she began posting online about how she just filmed a video on VHS that included women that were unconscious, whether it was from being drugged or chloroformed or hypnotized.
Sharon, no.
And these women were, engaging in sexual activity.
They're being raped. They're unconscious.
Essentially being raped. Yes.
Yeah.
So she would post, make these posts being like, I just filmed this video, blah, blah, blah. And she had people inquiring, of course, about these videos because they're fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. People are so gross.
And she ended up getting people paying for these videos, and she would be like, okay, I'm going to send them to you in a white envelope. It's going to be unmarked so no one will know, no one will know. It'll conceal your identity, all this stuff. And then after like a couple weeks had gone by and these people that had paid her for these disgusting, disturbing, horrible videos weren't getting them, they would like contact her and be like, I never got this video. What are you doing?
Okay, she's an icon.
And she would be like, oh, you know what? I'm just one person filming all these videos and mailing them out. Like, give me a break. It takes some time.
What are you going to do? Call the cops and say you didn't get your rape video?
Exactly. That's what she would say to them.
I love her. Is she going to do something really actually bad? Because so far, she's just scamming creeps.
She is scamming, but like also being really gross.
Okay, yeah, but what is she doing? She's stealing money from people who want to watch rape videos and not actually providing the rape videos. Like, if you were about to tell me she sent the videos to them, I'd be like, oh, fuck her. She's just scamming. She's scamming fucking creeps.
Well, it's funny because, like, when I first started researching this story, in one of the things I was reading, it didn't say that they never got the videos. So I'm like, how the fuck is she? Like, who is she videotaping? I was like freaking out. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then when I actually found out that she never actually sent any videos because she didn't have them, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, an icon.
A little bit.
I have nothing. I support her.
You're like, so far,
far,
so good.
Literally, there's nothing she's done so far that is against my sensibilities.
All right. Okay, so now keep in mind, we are in 1995 at this point. The internet has been around for almost a decade, but like it was still fairly new to.
Well, it wasn't accessible for a decade.
Yeah,
maybe it was invented.
It was invented in 1983, but it was still new to people. People were still trying to figure out how to exactly do the things that they wanted to do on it.
Remember, like, even when I was a kid, you'd have to have those like CD discs that would give you 100 minutes of free internet.
Yes,
remember?
Yes, I do. But regardless of that, she figured out how to, get on these porn sites, on these BDSM chat rooms, sex chat rooms, just all this stuff. So she would join these groups for whatever specific thing she wanted to sell and then just make posts about it to get people interested. And during this whole thing, she's still married to her husband, Victor.
Oh, Victor doesn't know this is happening?
Victor has no idea. So she's basically living a double life.
See, this is the problem. If you're going to scam, you have to include your significant other.
Well,
they don't need to be in on it, but they just have to know it's happening so they don't feel betrayed. Because she's not doing anything gross. She's not
yet. So she's married to her husband, Victor. She's doing all this stuff online. Kind of weird, whatever. Still not too bad, I guess.
Not bad at all.
But then she falls deeper and deeper into the World Wide Web of kinks and sex, and she starts to join these sex news groups and sex chat rooms with a fake screen name.
Is it TalHotBlonde?
It is not TalHotBlonde, unfortunately.
TAL Hot Blonde. Big 50.
That should have been their first tip, Big 50, because she was like almost 50. So one of her very first posts in these like new sex groups and sex chat rooms that she's in was asking people to engage in cannibalistic sex with her.
Oh, no.
This is where things take a turn for Sharon.
Sharon, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
So what she really wanted was to have someone force feed her until she hit her goal weight of 475 pounds. She wrote, and I quote, "I am not interested in email correspondence or a phone feeding. What I really like is the real thing. I am willing to be force-fed to meet my goal if necessary." End quote.
How do you figure out you're into that?
I have no idea. And then, as if this woman wasn't already being kind of weird and fucked up enough, she meets people in a necrophilia group and becomes very interested in that.
I'm confused how the cannibalism one, she was being force-fed human? She wanted to be force-fed human?
Okay, so I read in something that, this is really weird, and I don't understand how it works, but she wanted to be force-fed so she could gain all this weight so they can eat her together.
They could both eat her
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
She wants to eat herself.
Yeah. I don't really know how that works.
I mean, I guess there's probably a lot of you that you could take off before you die.
And I guess if you're a certain weight, she thought she could last longer. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like, think about it. Like, there's people who their arms and legs get cut off and they can still survive.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot. So then she becomes interested in the necrophilia, and a lot of her messages and posts start to get involved in being tortured sexually until she dies. Well, she had talked about in some of her emails to people that she wanted to kill herself at some point. So why not do it
Feeling real
good?
Okay.
Yeah,
Freaks me out, but it makes logical sense.
I guess. Yeah. One of her posts simply read, and I quote, "I kind of have a fascination with torturing till death. Would love an email exchange with somebody." End quote. Just super cash. No big deal. So in these groups, and I know Cassidy loves to kink shame, but there really are groups, for BDSM and kinks and all this stuff that we don't have a problem with. Do you, whatever.
Yeah, do whatever you want. I just don't want to hear about it. I'm literally just like an old person.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Like, I'm like, I don't care what you want to do. I don't want to ever hear about it, see about it, or know about it.
That's fine. And we're not in those groups for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like sex activists that are part of these groups because they're like into sex and into whatever you want to do. And there was this one user that was in one of these BDSM groups with her that kept seeing her posts like over and over again, like, I want to be tortured to death, looking for somebody to do this with me, like all this weird stuff. So this person reaches out to her, like sends her a message and is like, "Hey, like, are you in need of any help?"
Yeah, like, you good?
Yeah, like, this is not really things that we discuss on these groups. This is not us. This is not what we're about. So kind of telling her to like kind of stop posting these, and also if you need help, please let me know.
You're getting a little too racy for our necrophilia group.
No, this is not a necrophilia group. I think this was just like a BDSM group.
We don't want to kill you. We just want to fuck you after you died.
She's cross-posting at this point. So she's in a necrophilia group. She's in a BDSM. She's doing all the
She's
groups.
cross-posting.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's doing all the groups. So this was not in the necrophilia group. So this person just reaches out, and Sharon responds by saying, "I want to surrender completely. I want to die. I want the real thing. I did not ask you to preach to me." So she's like, "Get away from me. I don't care."
She's like, I know what I want. Don't kink shame me.
Don't kink shame me. Yeah.
She said, what I want is to be murdered.
Literally. And the person actually spoke to a journalist about this because she realized, even though she was going by a different screen name,
a pseudonym or whatever.
she realized during the email correspondence, I guess Sharon mentioned her real name. So after this whole story came out, she was like, "Oh shit, I talked to that person."
Mm-hmm.
So finally, after all the begging and pleading, she started to frequently email back and forth with a user on one of the BDSM groups. And she ended up meeting up with a guy from New Jersey. And when she got there, she was like, "Okay, are you ready to kill me?"
Are you ready to fuck me to death, brother?
Yeah. And he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. I thought we were just kidding. Like, I thought we were playing around.
Yeah, because that's like the whole thing with like a lot of those groups and stuff like that. It's like it's all fantasy role play. It's role play.
Exactly.
It's not actually real shit.
And she's like, no, I really wanted, I said I was serious. And then he was like, oh, okay. And he backs out and he's like, get out of here. And she leaves.
She's like, how embarrassing.
I know.
What a weird, like she's like walking back to the car. She's like do the, like a beep beep to unlock her car, you know? Like I'm just imagining that moment she's walking back. She's like, oh, fuck, I was wearing my leather panties.
Yeah.
To get murdered in.
I know.
Now I gotta beep my car open again. This
Terrible.
mortal coil. It's just so much.
Terrible. But then soon after, she meets another guy from one of the groups. And this guy's name was Robert Glass. And he was in these chat rooms under the name Slow Hand. Robert Glass was 45 years old and lived in North Carolina. He had 3 children and was married to a woman named Sherry Glass for 14 years.
This is why you can trust nobody, not even your own husband.
No, absolutely not.
Like
I'm always eyeballing my husband. Like, what are you doing?
What are you up to?
Yeah,
you're
never
still
know.
a man.
Yeah,
I know you married me, but you're still a man.
Luckily, our laptop is so fucking broken. Can't do shit on that thing.
He couldn't fucking join a chat room if he wanted to.
Absolutely
brother.
not. I got X'd out of so many windows today when I was trying to write my story. It's not even funny. So Sherry Glass, which is also funny because that is the name of an actual cup.
A
sherry glass. Yeah. She divorced him and kicked him out after realizing that he loved his computer way more than he loved his family. And she even said in an interview that her final straw was when her children asked why their father didn't love them anymore. Because this fucker was just always on the computer. She also saw some pretty disturbing emails on his desk, on his desktop that she said were disgusting, raw, nasty. Just, I'm sure they were in these sex chat groups.
Yeah.
So Sherry and Robert divorced in May of 1996. And a few months later, in August of 1996, is when he met Sharon in the chat room. The two of them seemed to hit it off, and they exchanged almost 900 pages of emails to each other, all about Sharon's dreams of being tortured to death and how Robert is the one for the job, and he would talk about how he was slowly going to kill her during sex, in great detail. And soon, the two of them made plans to get together and fulfill Sharon's ultimate fantasy. So on October 13th, 1996, Sharon got into her little blue Honda Civic and she drove to the train depot in Baltimore. She told her husband that she was just going to go visit some friends in Georgia for the weekend. At 9:15 a.m., she boards the train to Charlotte, North Carolina, and arrived there around 8:45 that night. So a very long train ride.
Yeah.
And Robert was there waiting for her. Very romantic. They get into his pickup truck and proceed to drive yet another 80 miles to his trailer.
Oh, good. Just where
now
every girl wants to die.
Yes. Now he lives in a trailer because he got kicked out and divorced by his wife.
Good for you, Sherry.
Yes. Good for you. Very good for you. So after this, not much is really known about what exactly went down in the trailer. However, back in Maryland, Victor ends up finding a note that was left behind by his wife. The note stated that she would not be coming home again and to not go after the person who did this to her. She says, if my body is never retrieved, don't worry, just know that I'm at peace.
So it's basically like a suicide note, but saying like, oh, but also
someone
somebody
killed
else
me.
killed me.
Yes. Yeah. And it's also,
I
know. It's also not totally known when Victor found this note. Most people say he didn't find it for at least a week after Sharon was already gone. But some people say he found it within a day or two. So no one really fully knows. But regardless of that, almost a week later is when he reported her missing.
That's a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like 4 or 5 days, I think.
Yeah.
But she said she was going to be gone for 3.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. Yeah.
My thing is, though, why are you not calling your wife every day?
Well, I guess there's no cell phones really back then.
Yeah, but I feel like...
Now we're so used to constant communication that it's, like, weird.
Yeah, because if my husband didn't contact me for, like, at least 3 hours, I'd be like, where are you? What are you doing?
Oh, my God, yeah.
You're
It made
dead.
me lose my mind.
Yeah.
And then they contact you and they're not dead. You're like,
Where were you?
I'm sorry, what the fuck are you up to, brother?
Exactly.
Are you murder sexing somebody that you met on the internet?
We don't know.
Because, like, you could be.
You could be. Now, I'm not sure if Sharon intended for Robert to be caught or found, but she was pretty lazy when it came to getting rid of the evidence on her computer. Because every single email between the two of them was just immediately found by the police when they went on her laptop. Or not laptop. I guess there was no laptops.
Desktop, baby.
Desktop.
Yeah. That shit was 4 feet wide.
Yeah, that big ass motherfucking
Yeah.
bulky thing.
It was deep.
And after just going through a few of the emails, not even all 900 pages, they were able to identify who Robert Glass was and find out where he lived. So, pretty lazy on her part.
Yeah.
The police decided to stake out Robert's mobile home for a few days to see if there was any sign of Sharon around. So every day they were just sitting out in front of the mobile home, and they would see Robert leave in the morning and go to work and then come home just like it was any normal day.
How fucking weird is that someone could do that and then just be like, oh, time to go back to normal life.
Yeah. Psychopaths.
And just, like, be your coworker and, like, be your whatever.
Yeah, you're, like, at work laughing and joking with your coworkers, but you just did something really gross and bad.
Yeah, like, well, I used to work with this guy who it turned out that he had sexually assaulted, like, a bunch of people.
Oh, perfect.
And I remember being like, dude, you were, like, coming into work cracking jokes, like, acting super, like, what? Like, how crazy is that?
Or the girl you knew that turned her boyfriend into soup.
Oh, my God, yeah. She did a lot of drugs, so I don't
Oh.
think she was coming into work normal.
On October 25th, a judge issued the police to have a search warrant to search Bobby's or Robert's property. And while he was at work, the police let themselves in and began to search his home and the surrounding area. And inside the mobile home, there was like so much rotten garbage and sex toys and just disgusting shit all thrown around. But somehow, in the mess, they found items belonging to Sharon. So they were like, okay, she's absolutely here or was here at some point. And on top of all this shit, they also found drug paraphernalia, bondage, a gun, and child pornography.
Oh, it's always that.
Lots and
Fucking
lots of child
freak.
pornography.
What's wrong with people?
Continuing outside to search the property, only a few feet from the trailer, the police noticed a fresh mound of soil. The officers started to grab shovels and started to dig, and about 2.5 feet under the dirt, they hit the decomposing remains of Sharon Lopatka.
2.5 feet. You couldn't even have given her a 3-feeder.
Yeah, no, it wasn't much. And it's like he just had the soil and the dirt right there next to his trailer.
What an ass.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
And the really weird thing about this was that Robert's mobile home sat on the edge of a large wooded area
Where you could have taken her anywhere.
that the police literally said in an interview that if he had just buried her in the woodlands, they probably would have never found the body.
What a fucking idiot.
But it was right next to his fucking house.
I mean, thank God, but also, this is very weird. I don't know. All this is making me feel bad and weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. Robert immediately was arrested at his job. They went to his job and were like, okay, we fucking found Sharon's body, brother. You're coming with us. And this became the first case that there was a murder suspect captured based primarily on evidence obtained by emails.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, I was going to say that's why she didn't do a good job covering it up. I was thinking that. I was like, it's the 90s. She probably didn't even think anyone would be able to get into her
That's
emails.
true.
Or
That's
that it
actually-
would matter.
Yeah, I didn't think about that because I was
Yeah.
like, how stupid can this bitch be?
Because, like, today we're like, even if we already know, even if you erase a hard drive.
There's
Everything's
your
still
history,
there.
your cloud, there's all this shit.
But it doesn't matter. Even if you erase a hard drive, they can recover it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they didn't fucking know any of that back then.
She probably thought if I deleted it, no one could find it.
Exactly. It's just in her spam folder.
Yeah, literally in your trash, and she doesn't even know. So Robert admitted to killing Sharon. He said she came to his home where they spent 3 full days playing out these sex fantasies of hers, including the torture fantasy. And then he said he doesn't know how much he pulled the rope, but he must have pulled it a little too hard, and he never intended to kill her, but she ended up dead.
Okay. I mean, obviously she knew she was going to die.
She
left
wanted
a
to.
note.
That was what she wanted.
Yeah.
But he claimed that he didn't intend to kill her.
Yeah, of course.
And this was obviously part of the whole controversy of the trial.
Yeah.
The autopsy was performed by Dr. John Butts.
Great last name.
Great last name. And he confirmed that Sharon was strangled to death 3 days after her arrival in North Carolina. But he stated accidentally, like that was the terminology he used.
Okay.
Which indeed corresponded with Robert's story, because Robert said, it was an accident. I didn't mean to do this. However, the police did not agree with this. And, they went through every single one of their emails. They went through all the 900 pages. They saw everything. So when they went back to these emails that they saw back and forth, this death was talked about so many times. Like, where she said, I want you to strangle me to death while we're having sex. And he said, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to strangle you. I'm going to put a rope around. Like, so many specific things.
Yeah.
That's like, brother, you can't get away with saying it was an accident and you didn't want to kill her because you literally stated in these emails that you did. Okay, we'll talk about what you're feeling in a second.
Okay.
So Robert was charged with first-degree murder, and on top of that, got hit with federal charges for the possession of child pornography.
Yeah.
And Robert pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter and sexual exploitation. On January 27th, 2000, Robert Glass was sentenced to 36 to 53 months in the in the Avery Mitchell Correctional Institution. And in addition, was sentenced to 27 months for the federal charges of child pornography. And he was supposed to serve these sentences consecutively, so just one after another.
Okay.
Which is
not
sorry, much.
What the fuck? Like, I have very complicated feelings about what happened with Sharon. But
Okay.
how is having child pornography like a 20-month what?
27 months, yeah.
Child pornography.
Mhm.
How the fuck that is so upsetting to me.
Yeah.
Once again, I have very complicated feelings about the Sharon.
Well, tell me what you feel.
Well, I just feel like she wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
This was her fantasy. This is how she played it out. She put it literally into writing. She wrote a note to her husband, which to me proves that she wasn't just role playing.
No, she was dead
actually wanted
serious.
it. Yeah. And so while I think he should be punished for doing it because no human should want to do that to another human, consenting adults is none of my fucking business.
Yeah.
Whether I like it or not, whatever, but it's none of my fucking business. The child pornography thing, 27 months?
Yeah.
I mean, he's dangerous.
He's a dangerous lunatic, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he had 3 kids.
Yeah.
For you to have children and to be looking at child pornography.
I'm sorry, I don't care if you have children or not.
I mean,
To be
that
looking
too,
at
but,
child
like-
pornography. I don't want kids ever in 1,000 trillion years. I think that is the most vile thing you could ever do is either hurt a child or look at child pornography. You're
No,
a
I
fucking
agree.
freak.
But also just like on top of all that, to have your own children and still be doing
He
like
probably was not good to them.
ugh. Disgusting.
But yeah, like I said, like, do I like what happened with him and Sharon? No, but that's 2 consenting adults, and I don't really think it's any of my fucking business. If she wanted to die and she wanted to be killed by him, I'm like, yeah, I feel like the law should do something because it doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, I don't know what because
It's all just weird.
it's
and
all
gross.
weird and
yeah.
it just is weird and gross. But like, how the fuck are you barely gonna go to prison? You have child pornography and you murdered someone.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was consensual or not, you're the type of person who would murder someone.
Yeah.
And like that's what I was gonna say. I don't know what the consensual murder. I don't know what could be the.
Well, on February 20th, 2002, 1 month before he was going to be finished with his first sentence for the manslaughter, Robert actually died of a heart attack in prison.
You know what? That's nature take care of itself.
So, yeah, it took care of it. It took the trash out.
Yeah. Nature said, you know what? We got this one. I know it's complicated for y'all.
We're just going to do it.
We're just going to take care of it. Heart problems.
Yeah. Victor Lopatka just had to kind of deal with the fact that his wife lived a double life the whole time they were together.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's so, I mean, that
like,
just
what do
must
you
be
even
so
do?
jarring.
How do you mourn that?
It's probably very complex. It's probably how I'm feeling conflicted and complicated about this story to begin with. It's that times 1,000 because it was your own person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that is the case of Sharon Lopatka and Robert Glass.
Jeez Louise. Wow. I mean, great story. Fucking awful and weird and complicated and morally gray as hell. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I always feel that way about things like where it's like two consenting adults being
That's what I
involved
was
in
saying.
something.
I'm
It's
like,
very
if she wanted to die, I don't know. It's so
but
complicated.
it's not even, I mean, you should be able to do whatever you want with your own life as long as you're not hurting somebody else, right? That's how I always feel. So I'm like, I don't know. It's like, but then my brain is like, no, that guy murdered someone. Like, he deserves to go to prison.
Well, he also had child porn.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, I don't even have to worry about
No,
the
that's
morally
why we
gray
can
thing.
hate
Like,
him.
yeah, he should be shot in the face. Anybody who hurts children, thinks about hurting children, has child porn, you should just be shot in the face, I personally think.
Yeah.
But, like, that took away that morally gray question for me. But if he didn't have that child porn, let's say, I would feel very weird about it. If he
was just like a normal dude. I mean, I guess he wouldn't be normal, but
I mean, not normal. Yeah, as long as he's not hurting kids, as long as it's all consenting adults. I don't know. I would feel very weird about it because, like I said, as much of a kink shamer as I am, I think it's your right to be disgusting.
I agree.
As long as it's all, you know what I mean? As long as it's all consenting adults, be as gross as you want. I don't want to fucking hear about it, but I will fight for your right to do it forever.
There you go.
So that's what's very confusing for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know.
Drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments, guys. Go yell at me on Twitter. I don't care. And I'm just waiting for that one.
But yeah, so internet creeper.
Internet extravaganza, my
Yeah,
friend.
internet extravaganza this week.
This really ruined my night.
I'm so sorry.
No, I loved it. It was terrible. I loved it, though. Oh, my God. I need like 8 more beers, I think.
We have more.
Oh, thank God.
Let's just go watch TalHotBlonde.
That'll cleanse my palate.
Forget about it.
We'll forget that any of this ever happened. At least he didn't actually consume her.
Yeah, that's true.
Jiminy Cricket. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to check out our website, it's dtkpod.com. I'm sorry, I'm like in a weird...
Yeah, Cassidy is like, her eyes were crossing. I don't know.
I'm in a weird headspace right now from that story.
Check out dtkpod.com for all of our Patreon, our merch,
social media.
Write us a review.
Just send us a weird email. Why not?
I don't normally do this part, so I don't even know what to do here. But
we usually do a listener story. We're running a little low on time tonight. But
don't forget, we're not posting an episode next week, so don't hate us.
That's true. Don't be mad.
Or be mad. Whatever.
We'll post online and remind you guys so you can be less mad.
That's true.
All right, but thank you so much for listening. We hope you got as weirded out as we did. That's usually our goal. This is why we never do true crime.
I know,
honestly.
and we did double.
And we're just everyone's feeling weird. My brain is in the sky. I don't even know anymore. But thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for our cool kids and people who write us reviews. That really means a lot to us. But most importantly, make sure you keep that front door locked.
Make sure you keep your mind open.
And keep drinking the Kool-Aid. Life finds a way, it turns out. Jeff was right.
Jeff who?
Jeff Goldblum?
In Jurassic Park.
I don't remember his character's name. Who does? It's just shirtless Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Life finds a way. I had bangs, but I had my hair pulled back, so it looked like I had a bowl cut. It's not my finest moment, but Jeff Goldblum told me I was hot, so that's what really matters.
Hot. And
what? That's a good joke. Get out of here.
Thanks again for listening to True Crime by Indie Drop-In. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com. See you next time.